We're in the money. We're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along.
Watching this, I'm not going to tell you that this is fact. I am simply saying, decide for yourself.
Oh my god, they did the meme, dude. They did the meme. Dude, I'm not telling you all this is fact or anything. I'm just saying, you know, whatever you want to believe, man. Keep an open mind, man. Bro. What if the whole universe is just a molecule in the universe of another universe?
What a fucking retard.
How is spirit science better than him?
It's not.
Again, I know I keep hyping it, but it gets way worse.
It's not that spirit science is better than him. It's that Vaush, for whatever reason, can't address anything spirit science is saying, which implies that you have a lower IQ or reasoning than fucking spirit science.
People began to learn about meditation and study ancient lands like Atlantis and Lemuria. We actually found quite a bit of evidence that Lemuria existed, and it had to do with coral. See, the ocean floor does rise and fall. Coral can exist up to 150 feet under the surface of the water.
What? The ocean floor rise? How many wrong things do you need to believe to buy into this? Wait, this is incredible. What is it Hitler said? If you can get them to believe a big lie, you can get them to believe a little lie?
What?
I told you. Keep going. Yeah. Listen.
He actually thinks the ocean floor doesn't change.
You know, right? That's how it works, right? So if you just lie in the entire video, you do more to engage.
Has he never heard of the mid-ocean ridge?
You just do little lies. Oh, slap and slap. That's a tough question, or scap and slap. Sorry, that's a tough question, comrade.
The Martian Jews came and fucked Atlantis people.
Suited to that task.
The ocean floor doesn't rise and fall away. Spirit science says, but
coral rings heading
he's right.
Easter Islands for a great distance.
Wait, how does the ocean floor rise? Wait, how does that work?
Continental movement, you idiot!
I love it when he has
somebody please explain to me how the
This nigga doesn't know basic fucking earth science.
No, listen, you can't hear me talking over, but his thought process is literally that if the ocean floor rises, the entire ocean will rise as well.
Wait, what? Not just sedimentation at the edges of he said.
His reasoning is, what? The ocean floor can't rise? Because the sea level would rise. Everyone would drown.
Found the exact same fauna and flora from the Hawaiian Islands all the way to the Easter Islands.
What?
This is a great distance,
What?
but if you look at a map, you'll see a long string.
What?
That string, according to Thoth, used to run along the western shores of Lemuria. It is only on these islands that have the same
tectonic plates. You stupid piece of shit. Do you sincerely believe that over a period of time of just 1,000 years, the sea levels would rise and then sink 80% of the distance to the surface of the water without changing the surface of the water? You can't change the fucking distance of the seafloor. The ocean rises with the bottom of the ocean. If you push the rock up, the water goes up too. What the fuck are you talking? There are people in chat who are like...
No, that's my other favorite thing about Vaush, is that despite him being so fucking retarded, he's haughty enough to call other people stupid.
Near to the...
Like on a consistent basis.
I mean, he does understand that water retains its level, right? That, like, the water would be dispersed first. If the total ocean floor rose, yeah, then the ocean would rise. But thanks to tectonic plates...
Yeah, that's my question. I think the tectonic plates work like fucking...
Like, they
fucking
move,
plates,
it's not level everywhere.
They just move uniformly.
So, spirit science wasn't crazy enough for you. You had to find someone even crazier to review it.
We had to find someone dumber.
If you were crazier, I might like him more. He's just retarded.
Have you ever met him, Bath? Your name confused me.
Bath hasn't met anyone in real life.
I haven't met
no one
any.
else has either.
I haven't met any famous Twitch streamers, so.
Bath is not a famous Twitch streamer. He's like a C-lister at best.
Well, Vaush gets the reputation of hosting
and you guys are like, oh yeah,
okay. So to explain this. Coral can only grow at a set depth. Too deep and it'll die. So if we find the remains of coral at a depth where coral doesn't grow, that would imply that the coral at one point was at that proper depth, which means that the ocean floor that's now deeper used to be more shallow. So, you can say that the coral thing isn't accurate all you want.
Well, no, you don't understand. No, you don't understand. He saw spirit science as like 2-second visual aid and freaked out because it looked like the Earth was breathing.
Spirit science's bad visual aids are bad, but
naturally just tectonic shifts. Sometimes the ocean floor just thrums in the geological equivalent of a fucking Rapidash heartbeat.
Yes.
That's not what it meant.
No, the water.
You mean like seismic activity?
Yeah.
Pokemon reference.
Imagine not taking an earth science class and then thinking you know everything.
Hey, imagine not taking intro to earth science.
Water goes down the drain.
Isn't that like a 7th grade class?
It's
first grade. It's a fucking freshman college class.
Same.
Sections of
it kind of does sink down into the trench.
To that extent, in that time period. Oh God!
Oh,
this is an anti-chat.
He's spurging now because people pointed out he's dumb.
Wasn't natural. The real enemy wasn't spirit science. It was chat.
Trees, bugs, bacteria, everything. Science can only.
Man, I wonder if there was some great seismic activity that we have evidence of that happened about 1,200 years ago. If only there was evidence of the Bronze Age collapse.
That was debunked by Snopes.
So you've been seeing those posts on 4chan, haven't you, Bath?
Yep, I have.
For a very long time. After the sinking of Lemuria and the rising of Atlantis, at first the human race became scattered. We moved to various islands and continents all over the world because we didn't have a home.
Wait, so humans just lived on that segment of islands to begin with, and then Atlantis rose, and then we moved to Atlantis, and then we moved elsewhere on the planet? Why didn't we just move to elsewhere on the planet earlier?
Yet. We didn't know where to go. At that time, there were about 1,000 humans.
Nice restatement of points with the slightly snarky attitudes he's found smarter.
Today, we know them as ascended masters.
Believed in the
Nicalls
African
began
theory.
preparing Atlantis to be our new home. They projected their energies across the surface of the continent in the form of the Tree of Life, not with 10 circles, but an extra on top on the island of Udal, and an extra on the bottom in the water. There were 10 on the mainland.
Watch this. He's about to make a really epic joke.
Wait.
Shut up.
This is going to be really fun.
Wait, shh.
We chose to move to Atlantis because of the Kundalini. In humans, the Kundalini is often referred to as the energy serpent that runs.
Wow, isn't that funny?
When activated, it provides an immense amount of energy through
He pulled
all
up
of
a
the
picture.
Holy
The
shit.
Earth itself also has a Kundalini because
The
the Earth
Tree
is
of
alive,
Life.
like an organism, running from.
So, Bosun, a real question in regards to spirit science. He talks about the Kundalini energy about to shift here. Where do you think it's going?
Oh,
What do you mean?
Oh no.
What do you mean, where do I mean? Where is the Kundalini energy shifting to?
Into the Jews.
Like from Tibet? I think it's probably localized around like somewhere in the middle of the Pacific Ocean statistically.
Based.
From the center.
You use Kunda fucking Leany energy to heal my fucking arm.
Sorry, Baron.
I mean, maybe if you were better at tantric
The Earth chose
interdimensional
Atlantis
sex
to be the new
meditation, you could,
energetic
but you're
center
not good
of
at
the
that.
planet.
Yeah.
Hold up. We're about to get to the section where he talks about space Jews, and I really want to see his reaction.
No.
It's fine, though. It's not spy vial of Regeneron.
Vaush hasn't even started talking about fascism yet. It's going to get really good.
I'm waiting to see this go off the rockers.
After Atlantis, the Kundalini moved to the mountains of Tibet, which is why the Buddhists were the leaders in pure spirituality for the last 13,000 years. It was a very pure place.
What?
It moved again within the last 10 years, but that's a story for another time.
Fucking quo noises.
Base spirit science.
This explains everything. Yeah, don't hear you debunking any of this.
If you want to read more, check out the book The Serpent of Light by Drunvalo Melchizedek. Suddenly, in a single day, the Nicalls breathed life into the Tree of Life on the surface of Atlantis. This created vortexes of energy rotating out of each and every circle. Once the vortexes were established, the children of Lemuria began to be called forth. Millions upon millions of Lemurians who had settled all across the planet began to be pulled.
Wait, I thought there were only 1,000 humans.
Yeah.
Are these
Rhinox exist.
Don't we have Homo florensis?
We do. That was the joke. They were real. He's not making it up. Homo florensis is a real species of human. It was only 3 feet tall.
Tolkien knew about those too. That's why he made hobbits.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, hobbits are Homo florensis. Sorry, fact. Tolkien's
No,
right.
he literally just made it
I'm
up.
sorry.
No, he knew about evolution
Look,
and he
you
didn't
just
believe in it.
Dumbass.
Personnel, kid.
I'm sorry, Sinaticus. Your brothers lied to you again.
Hey, look, it's Kerr Isling in the.
Are there 2 types of humans?
Toward Atlantis, a great migration began.
Don't go into
However,
the
the
ocean.
Lemurian
Oh my
body of
God.
consciousness had only reached the age of 12 as a planetary consciousness.
What?
Because we were right-brained, we were a female species, like a
Well,
12-year-old girl,
Here we go.
and some of our centers weren't working yet. They had worked with these energies, but only
Hilarious.
9 of the 10.
Shut.
Each migrating
Hold up, I
Lemurian
have
was
to hear
attracted to
this.
one of these 8 centers on
Hilarious.
Atlantis, depending on the nature of the individual. There, they settled and began to build cities. That left 2 vortexes with nobody using them, not a single person.
What?
These 2 vortexes were pulling life toward them, and in life, you can't have an empty place. Life will find a way to fill it. Similar to if you were driving along a freeway, following another car, and you drop too far behind, someone will fill the place. That's exactly what happened on Atlantis.
Thank you for that analogy. I don't know if I would have been able to pick this together.
So fucking funny.
When does this pivot to race realism?
I don't understand why he's
a
freaking
funny
out about
point,
the little
by the
girl
way.
analogy. I
It's
thought
been
he liked
shown
it.
that people who believe in stuff like this, people whose brains work this way, are more likely to believe in stuff like race realism or fascism. If you study certain forms of superstition, certain forms of naturalistically driven behavior theory, then you're much more likely to
Science
believe in
is
stuff like race
fascist.
realism.
Though the Lemurians had only filled 8 of the vortex areas, Mayan records state clearly that there were 10 cities in Atlantis when it fell.
That's the most pixelated image I've ever seen in my
They filled 8
life.
of the vortex areas. Mayan
It really isn't.
Boy, did you decode these hieroglyphics from this image?
records state clearly that there were 10 cities in Atlantis when it fell. You can see these records in the Troano document, which is now located in the British Museum. This document is estimated to be 3,500 years old, and it describes in detail the sinking of Atlantis. To fill these 2 empty vortexes, according to Thoth, 2 extraterrestrial races stepped in. Not 1, but 2 completely different races.
Oh.
The first race were the Hebrews, coming from our future. Thoth says that they came from off-planet, but we don't know where exactly. The Hebrews were kind of like a kid who went through 5th grade and didn't make it, so they had to do that grade over again. They learned all the math, the left brain stuff, but they didn't get the right brain aspect of evolving consciousness, the doing. They didn't graduate to the next level of evolution, so they had to do it again.
Okay, so as I said about being more likely to believe in race realism, not only are they Jews, they're Jews who failed at evolution because they had no emotional spirit. I see. Okay.
He doesn't even listen.
He knew a lot of things that we didn't know yet and brought many concepts and ideas to us that we weren't aware of yet. Now, if this is true, this would explain quite a few things about the Hebrew people in general. They...
You know, the funny thing is
it's like the most like brainless
super people.
Yeah, he's literally calling them more intelligent. But Vaush is just too like fucking flabbergasted to even pay the fuck attention.
You mean to say that Jews are smart people? You, sir, are a fascist.
That's race realism, bro. That's race realism.
Hey, Sinaticus, so how does it make you feel that spirit science literally confirmed my idea that the true Jews, you know, the ones that didn't fail, like yourself and your pathetic bloodline, became 4th dimensional beings?
It's pretty upsetting, not gonna lie.
Hey, Sinaticus, you're number 2.
Oh, damn it.
The race realism, no matter what I choose to put on, can I?
seem to have many sacred geometries hidden within their culture. It also puts perspective on the story of Exodus. Perhaps Moses incarnated into that lifetime to free the Hebrews because they were not direct descendants of humans and were being treated unfairly. Or could it be that Moses was visited by an ascended master of the Hebrews who guided him to free their people? Given what we know about dimensions and consciousness, it definitely puts a fresh perspective on old stories that didn't make much sense. We could talk about this more, but let's continue for now. There were no problems caused by the Hebrews coming to Atlantis.
Wait a minute.
They actually
Is he a
benefited our
theosophist?
evolution. The other race that stepped in caused big problems. These beings came from the nearby planet of Mars. See, according to Thoth, Mars looked very much like Earth a little less than 1 million years ago. It was beautiful. It had oceans and water and trees that were just fantastic. But something happened to them, and it has to do with something called the Lucifer experiment.
What?
From the very beginning of creation, everything is simply an experiment. Creation itself was just consciousness creating and inhabiting itself in that creation.
What the? I can't.
Nice. Space. Look, he agrees with the atheism dialects. Look at that fucking paper.
This is actually insane. I need to become a fucking Posadist. Only through the cleansing light of nuclear fire.
Okay. He's also a base nihilist, by the way. Epic.
Of purging the earth. This is.
Well, see, he's not a nihilist. He believes in Marvel movie ideology.
Part 12.
Corporatist?
Of a video series.
There is a group of heroes that will save us all.
This is insane.
Trillion hero.
There is no divine plan. Spirit can do whatever it wants.
Having
said that, Spirit decided to cut itself off from the rest of consciousness and create a separate reality on its own. It can do that too. This is called the Lucifer experiment. Because Spirit is God, it can do this. There is nothing wrong with that. We've kind of been led to believe that Lucifer is evil and the devil. This just isn't true. Lucifer is just another means of perceiving the reality. It is not a unity perception of oneness, but rather a duality perception of two-ness.
Dude.
There's a flower of life pattern for Lucifer as well, but that's...
Like, what if, instead of Satan being evil...
I'll never understand this, like, weird... criticism of hippie ideology. Like, does he know what side of the political spectrum he's on?
Yeah. He's going after his own. Let him enjoy that.
The Lysenko fields are calling, brethren.
Away from the cosmic wind of divinity and created an entire new reality using the cosmic spiral.
You aren't saying anything. Shut up.
Yeah, surprisingly, Jordan, even though his worldview is fucking retarded, he makes internal sense, at least, debate.
The species will cut itself off from love and will become incredibly male, left-brained. What always ends up happening is that everyone becomes very greedy. There is no compassion for one another, and everyone ends up fighting until they end up killing themselves. More than 1 million years ago, the beings on Mars joined the Lucifer experiment, and it failed dramatically. Basically, they cut themselves off from the unity of the universe and created a separate reality. When the Martians joined the love bond, they became pure male, logical beings.
Love bond.
Okay, one more point. I hate superstition so much. Notice how throughout all of the wacky nonsense shit is like biologically prescriptivist conservative social roles.
Oh, Jesus.
Hebrews are...
Oh my.
Word salad.
What was that combination of buzzwords I heard?
I don't know. I have to sit down and hear it again. Hold up.
It's like biologically prescriptivist conservative social roles.
Biological prescriptivist social world. What?
Conservative. You forgot
Conservative.
that.
Dark nigger hell.
They're also making the rabbi sign with their hands. This is the tribe of Levi, Sinaticus.
Such a Venetian conservative.
That's actually a reference to Star Trek. Leonard Nimoy was Jewish.
Yeah.
He took that symbol for the Vulcans.
I know.
Did he?
Oh, okay. I said it was Jewish.
That's actually a reference to fucking Israel. Shut up.
Yeah, it is a reference to
Yikes,
Israel.
he's so upset. He's so upset.
Hey, what am I upset about? You're a failed Jew.
Okay, playing the video.
Oh, wait. I have one more question. Have we sent a Mars rover that has the ability of, like, use sonar on the ground, or has some sort of mining drill to see
very rudimentary, yeah, but nothing too advanced.
Nothing that would reveal anything major.
Everyone keeps saying that they have ice cores, but I haven't They've never actually shown the technology.
Yeah, actually, Sinaticus, can I say? I feel like we fucking.
never
I feel like
actually
we
sent
no,
anything
listen.
to polls.
I feel
know,
like
but
we
everyone
fucking.
keeps saying that they have like ice
Hey,
underneath.
can you hear me? Am I speaking right now?
Yeah, I don't know
No.
why they're talking over
They
you.
did the sonar thing.
Listen, can I say this? Does it feel like? Tell me if you relate to this. Does it feel like we've quote unquote discovered water on Mars like 5 times now?
Yeah. We've actually discovered liquid on Mars a fuck ton of times.
Why do they act like it's new every time?
Well, because the stupid masses don't actually pay attention, and so you get some person who's never read about it, and then they write an article about how there's water on Mars, and they're like, oh my god, there's water on Mars! And people actually do this shit, who look into this shit, they're just like, yeah, this is like the 8th, 9th time. I mean, you know, you could just get your telescope and look at the northern ice cap on Mars to determine there's water, but, you know... Whatever.
Well, if it were just like BuzzFeed articles, I'd get it, Sinaticus. But this is people like Neil deGrasse Tyson and these fucking pop sci people that do the whole rigmarole every time. Like, actually, if we discover water on Mars, it would be an amazing thing. It would be fantastic. It would change history.
But they found underground lakes or something the last month or something.
Aren't the poles actually carbon dioxide, like dry ice?
Well, yeah, it's not like it's not, as far as we know, it's not like H2O water. It's other liquids.
Well, yeah, that's why.
But there's heavy implication to suggest
That's
there's
why
actual
lakes.
water on Mars.
Well, anyway, Mars water aside, let's get back. Hold on, let's get back to biologically prescriptivist, conservative, social.
Right.
Agreed. Let's go.
Shit is like biologically prescriptivist conservative social roles.
It never gets old.
So the Hebrews are right brain and had no emotional connection to the universe. And right brain means you're pure male and that you are all logic. And left brain is pure female and you're all emotion. Notice how as hyper woke fucking wild hippie shit this may sound, it's basically just a lunatic way of reiterating conservative social roles. Left brain is the logic one. Good thing I don't give a shit.
What happened on Mars was that they ended up fighting. Mars became a battleground.
Oh.
Eventually, it became clear that Mars was not going to survive. They blew their atmosphere away and destroyed the surface of the planet. Nova recently did an episode on planetary magnetics, and they found some interesting things about Mars. The planet didn't have a magnetic system, however the surface was magnetized, implying that at one point it did, but that something happened. Now...
Wait, Mars doesn't have a magnetic system? That can't be possible. There has to be metal in its core.
No.
This is the moment where he gets BTFO. This is the moment where he gets BTFO.
Okay.
He looks it up.
Okay.
Oh, Mars does not have an intrinsic global magnetic field, but the solar wind interacts with the atmosphere of Mars, leading to the formation of a magnetosphere from magnetic field tubes. This poses challenges for mitigating solar radiation and maintaining an atmosphere. Interesting. That actually is interesting. I guess all of this is true, then. I take it all back.
We've been discussing the star tetrahedron before, and now I want to give you a brief understanding of the Merkaba. The Merkaba was known in ancient times as the Chariot of Ascension. It is the star tetrahedral energy field around the body. All around the world, there are references to this in ancient texts. When activated to its full potential, the Merkaba, which is both a tool and part of your being, can be used to do the impossible, included but not limited to changing dimensions and traveling through the universe. Before Mars was destroyed, they built huge tetrahedral pyramids. They built 3, 4, and 5-sided pyramids, eventually building a complex that was able to build a synthetic Merkaba. After a million years or so, it's been eroded, but the proof is there. Now, because the Martians were severed from the Unity consciousness, they couldn't create a living Merkaba. They simply used it as a tool. They created a synthetic Merkaba to travel in time and find a new home. A small group of Martians tried to get away from Mars before it was destroyed, and that place they found was Earth. About 65,000 years in our past. They saw this little vortex sitting there, just pulling in life, with no one in it. They didn't ask permission. Being part of the Lucifer experiment, they just said, alright, let's do it. And they stepped onto that vortex, and in doing so, they joined and changed our evolutionary path.
Oh, is he going to make fun of, like, portraying certain... Wait, go back a few seconds, because we don't want to miss this. But I do think it's funny that he makes fun of them, like, portraying them as evil bad guys when he's a fan of fucking Marvel movie.
I mean, you know, it's the most basic form of entertainment around. The bad guys are very obviously bad, save for, like, 3. So
yeah, and he has the gall to sit here and be like, "Ooh, grr, they're very bad guys." Isn't that hilarious that they're portrayed?
They saw this little vortex sitting there, just pulling in life with no one in it. They didn't ask permission. Being part of the Lucifer experiment, they just said, "All right, let's do it." And they stepped onto that vortex, and in doing so, they joined and changed our evolutionary path.
Who could forget when the Martian Hebrew star brought a race?
So he's complaining with the Martians with the Jews now too? What's going on here? I mean, obviously spirit science is wrong, but like, he is aware that he didn't call the Martians Hebrews, right?
Sinaticus, you really have to stop.
You literally, he sees the Jewish star and becomes angry.
Of time traveling all male Martians to the spiritual vortex on Atlantis.
Thoth's father, Thome, was one of the Nakals who set up and changed our evolutionary path. Thoth's
Hello again, Thoth and Thome.
father, Thome, was one of the Nakals who set up Atlantis on the island of Udal. That island, the top of the Tree of Life, was the brain of Atlantis, and on it was a small city called Poseidon. This city is what Plato was discussing when he said that Poseidon bore 10 children, the 10 circles on the Tree of Life. Poseidon was made of 3 rings painted in black, red, and white stones, and it was the symbol for Atlantis. The inner circle represented the Nakals. The middle circle were the priesthood, called the Maya, and the outer circle represented the regular people of Atlantis. We'll come back to this down the road. There were only a few thousand Martians who came to Earth through the synthetic Merkaba. The first thing they did when they arrived in Atlantis was try to take over the continent. They tried to declare war and invade. However, they were vulnerable due to their small numbers, compared to the millions of Atlanteans, and we finally subdued them. We were able to stop them from conquering us, but we could not send them back. When this happened on our evolutionary path, we now had the planetary consciousness of a 14-year-old girl. The Martians were an incredibly male species, and also very old. So what you had was a 14-year-old girl being taken over by a 60 or 70-year-old man. We had no choice in the matter. The Martians just stepped in and said, like it or not, we're here.
Wait, I thought they lost. Wait, how did they rape the planet spirit if they lost?
They didn't care what we thought or felt about it. Really, it was no different from what the settlers of North America did to the Native Americans.
But I thought we won.
Okay, it's like such a basic misunderstanding of shit. Spirit science literally said, we stopped them from conquering, but we couldn't send them home, so they were stuck with us. And he's now acting like he said that we massacred the Martians or some shit. He's like, what do you mean? I thought we won. Just not even paying attention. It's like basic shit.
Wait, I thought we won. Didn't we beat them?
Once the initial conflict was over, it was agreed that the Martians would try and understand this female thing they lacked. This emotional feeling, which they had none of at all. Things more or less settled for a while, but the Martians slowly began to implement their left-brain technologies, which the Atlanteans knew nothing about. One after the other, the Martians kept putting out these left-brain inventions, until the Atlanteans slowly began to see things through their left brain. We slowly began to become a male species. The Martians gained control, bit by bit, until eventually they had all of the power, as was their intention. The animosity between Atlanteans and the Martians never subsided, not even till the end of Atlantis. They hated each other. The Atlanteans were shoved down and treated like inferiors. It was like a marriage that the female component didn't like, but the male component didn't really care if she liked it or not. It remained this way for a very long time, until about 26,000 years ago, when the next phase slowly began.
I'm just... What I don't get is, how can you be so clinically insane to invent all this in your head?
Yeah.
But then bring it all back to incredibly archetypical, like, standard gender role shit.
Oh
no! Listen.
How do you bring it back to that? This would be like writing the Lord of the Rings and then having it all be an allegory for the necessity of like a regressive tax rate so the rich don't have to pay their fair share. Like, right? This would be like if the entire Elder Scrolls mythos was an allegory for the necessity of for the necessity of engaging in monogamy. Okay.
Before we can,
it just goes to show, by the way, where their creativity actually lies. We know that gender is a social construct. That's a fact. But these people who are so mystical, who are so spiritually enlightened, that they're able to make videos like this, these wild fucking videos, are still chained by conservative understandings of gender expectations.
Continue. We have to talk about.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
Edgar Casey was channeling information when he stopped and he said, "There's something you should know. In the near future, the Earth's poles are going to shift." Casey was a brilliant man with a very strong connection to higher dimensions, where he communicated with...
What happens when your, guys, what happens when your poles shift, by the way? I legitimately have no idea. Like, is that actually, what does that even fucking mean? Like, what are the practical consequences?
Other beings for the human race. Ultimately,
there's quite a lot, actually.
The belief system called New Age was created. This is, again, just putting what he was doing into boxes of understanding, because no one else understood what he was doing.
And it's gonna happen pretty rapidly from what I heard.
Geologists began exploring the possibility of a polar shift.
But all birds and animals will be confused. Not good things.
Came forth and lent tremendous weight to what Casey was saying, and they have now changed the world's view on the subject. Scientists believed that if there was going to be a physical pole shift, there would also be a change in the magnetic poles. Through studying lava beds, geologists were able to see where the planetary magnetics were when the lava beds hardened at certain depths. They found that the earlier magnetic poles were not where they were now, but in Hawaii. The last shift that took place was 13,000 years ago, and we will get there in the story soon. They did another test and found that it had shifted again.
I actually can't handle the music only being in one of my ears. I actually can't do it. I can't do it. I can't tolerate it. Future skip!
Consciousness could interact with them without physically moving. It's hard to explain because you can literally shape your environment immediately through your consciousness in these higher frequencies. In that sense, we were creators, knowing and understanding oneness, beings of love. But then we fell. We dropped back down to this place called the third dimension. We also fell in consciousness back to zero. We forgot.
I told you, nigga, we were in the fourth dimension and shit.
Like a raisin, where it's supposed to be eyeball size.
Seventh dimensional brain.
When this
confirmed?
happened, we forgot how to breathe source energy into our bodies, and our lifespans went kaput. Eventually, we went from 900 years to what it is today. We had not experienced this dense reality that we had before, at least for a very long time. We were kind of like a supercomputer that gets completely wiped. No operating system or anything. We had these advanced physical bodies, but we didn't know how to use them. This is why today we are so physically advanced compared to pretty much all the other animals in this third dimension.
Wait, physically, human beings fucking suck. Human beings are slow.
Literally not true. No, literally not true.
Adaptability. We have poor sensory input. Are you kidding me?
Wait, what was about adaptability? We have really high fucking adaptability. Wow.
Yeah, and we're not even slow. One of our biggest advantages is our fucking running endurance. We can outrun.
So humanity has a very rare adaptation that no other creature has.
Sweat glands.
It's called sweat glands. This means that humans are the only persistent hunter on the planet. So what does that mean? Yeah, we can't outrun cats in short distance. That's true. But we can run far longer distances that they could only dream of. We can do this continuously and pretty much without end. So,
well, that was how most humans hunted back in the day, right? They would just fucking pursue these animals for fucking days until they just got so tired that they just let us kill them.
Yeah, which is where intelligence comes into it.
They've tested this.
We had to be perceptive about our...
I promise you, find a gazelle in the woods and chase it down. You will run it down. There's nothing it can do to stop you. Did I say gazelle? I meant deer. Find a deer in the woods, right, and chase it down. You might initially lose it, but if you can track it and chase it down, it will faint and you will catch it. That is a guarantee.
Is our opposable thumbs and our brains. That's it. Our physical bodies aren't advanced in the slightest. It's our brains that are advanced. We actually physically suck compared to most animals. Yeah, we can run longer.
We can throw things.
But for the most part,
we
like,
are one of
really
the.
shit
I think
predators.
we are the
fucking
only
suck physically.
animal that can throw things.
I mean, the only thing we suck against...
Chimps can throw things, but not very well.
Yeah, the only thing
not precisely, not like us.
So, in reality, the only thing that we suck at are against specialized predators. So an example of this would be, obviously, the average human is not going to be able to stop a crocodile from crunching down on its...
Yeah, but the group has it has that potential to...
But specialized hunters, like Homo protodor?
Oh yeah, especially Homo protodor. They're pretty effective against us. Ripperoonie.
Are you fucking talking about...
See, Sinaticus, I can't wait to make like a really in-depth YouTube video about like Homo protodor. And fucking Vaush's reaction, he's like, Homo protodor? Like from Elder Scrolls Mythos?
From Elder Scrolls?
Like from the Elder Scrolls Mythos?
Yeah.
Mythos.
I'm gonna start writing a script for that. We're gonna make it together.
Hey dude, I would totally collab on that shit. I would love to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna collab on the Elder Scrolls Mythos, Bosun.
The Elder Scrolls 6 Protodor.
Yeah, you can do that while you read your Homestuck video, Bosun?
I can have multiple videos that I want to make.
No, well, you can't, because you don't have a good enough computer.
Yikes! He's
and you don't have two working arms. Anyway, continue.
He's telling the truth.
Survivors of the Atlantean Fall, and there were a few, were literally...
One is fixable with money.
We even had to rediscover fire. The reason we're having such a hard time finding evidence of Atlantis is because for the most part, the events of Atlantis took place on a much higher dimension than our physical Earth exists on right now. Everything I've drawn of Atlantis can't be taken as that's what it looked like, because it didn't. This landmass did physically exist, but the Atlanteans were not inhabiting that dimension of its existence. If the warship hadn't been protected by the Merkaba, the Nacals would have lost their memories. They retained their memories when the Earth came out of the void and began their work once more. Thoth and 1/3 of the Nacals went to the Island of the Sun in Bolivia. Aragot and 1/3 went to Tibet, and Ra and the remaining third went to Egypt.
Wait, what was that?
Aragot worked once more. Thoth and 1/3 of the Nacals went to the Island of the Sun in Bolivia.
Oh shit! The coup! They were going after the Island of the Sun! Oh shit! The CIA!
What?
I think this is an inside joke or something. I don't get it.
And China invaded Tibet. Oh shit! Oh shit! It's fucking happening! Oh shit!
And Ra and the remaining third went to Egypt.
China's already invading Tibet.
The last piece. Remember when Israel invaded Egypt? Oh shit! We're fighting over it. We're fighting over the Kingdom Heart keys.
What? Israel took the Sinai Peninsula exclusively. What are you fucking on about?
Sorry, the Levant affair.
No, fuck you. No, fuck you, Goy. Alright?
No, fuck you, Goy. Just because we tried to get you to help us in Egypt doesn't mean we did invade it.
We didn't make it that far. That's ridiculous.
Oh, shit.
Also, Egypt declared war on Israel first, not the other way around. Fuck off.
Shit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Israel did do that classic Jew thing where they antagonize the entire country.
We didn't do nothing. Shut your mouth. Most time I'll visit you in your sleep tonight.
Story and our current history. In between the fall of Atlantis and the dawn of our first civilizations, who were the Egyptians and the Sumerians, there was a 6,500-year gap between them. What was happening to us in that time? We have to look at this precession chart again. This is where we fell in consciousness, point C, and this was our falling asleep phase too. Thoth, Ra, and the Ascended Masters were waiting until point D. They had to wait for humans to just evolve themselves over a 6,500-year time period until they were advanced enough to actually receive this new information that they were going to provide.
I like how this guy has to keep referring to human technological and social development as evolution. That's another really fashy thing. Like, you think they're actually physically evolving, or they're just developing technological...
Evolutionary psychology is fashy.
Sociology evolves. Fascist. Yeah, evolutionary psychology is fascist.
Is this like a look in the mind of the average social justice warrior, where they actually think...
No, this is worse. This is the average mind of average commie.
Like, they actually think that, like, the brain doesn't evolve?
Return to Monkey.
I mean, like, do you...
We were...
Whoa, Blaine, you're being... Or, Sinaticus, you're being a little fashy there. Calm down. Don't be so fashy.
Sorry, my bad. I have tendencies. So...
You're being biologically prescriptivist conservative right now.
Sometime in here was when the flood of Noah occurred. Because of the pole shift, the Earth went through an ice age. This is scientific fact. When the ice melted, it would have caused massive flooding. DNA is the physical manifestation of who you are. It is your soul's physical aspect. What we are seeing in DNA is changes in the codons. There's 64 possible codons in DNA, and humans only have about 22 or so. What we're finding is that there are 6 more codons being activated within these children, and they are choosing 2 of the 6. These kids are what we call indigo and crystal children, and probably the super psychics as well. Now, this is a chromosome. Basically, what this is lots and lots of DNA wrapped into this weird H-like shape. This is located in every cell, and is part of your body of consciousness. What Thoth tells us is that every level of consciousness seen here not only has its own consciousness grid, but its chromosome change as well. The second level, where we are now, has 44 and 2 chromosomes. To any scientist, this is basic biology.
Do people with Down syndrome have like ascended brains? Are they like on another spiritual level?
Yes.
What's happening?
It's not Down syndrome, it's autism.
Level, however, has 42
Autism is the
and
future.
this third level has 46 and 2.
Shut up.
Fourth and fifth have 48 and 2.
Cue that one Varg tweet where he's like, actually, any
The
white
primary
man,
physically visible difference between these
a real
DNA
Aryan, would be
is height.
autistic.
The first level has an average height of 4 to 6 feet tall. The second level, us,
Oh, so
has
we're
an
probably
average
gonna watch
height
the
of 5 to 7
Amara
feet.
tomorrow.
I know, I thought that was such a
G-Man?
good take.
What?
Is that G-Man? I just
Men's
noticed
average height is from 6 to...
I'm afraid you misunderstand the situation, Mr. Vaush. I mean, this
7
height
feet
thing is
tall?
really fucking retarded, so...
Damn. Okay. I can't believe I'm a fucking manlet.
Yeah, search Vaush height. Search Vaush height.
Vaush height?
Search Vaush height. Do it.
He's a pedophile, so he might as well be like 4'3".
Vaush height.
Jesus Christ, Sinaticus.
I don't see his height.
I'm 6'2". Yeah, so he's lying.
You're 6'2"? Okay.
Yeah, no, because he just said I'm a manlet. Yes. Jesus.
Biden for president. Oh no.
Biden for president.
Level 1 is this dude? We're calling this dude out right here? This guy's just like, here's the video on ascended mankind. This is a level 1 human. And he just found a picture off Google Images of it like a chubby looking guy? What?
4 to 6 feet.
He's mad because it looks
The
like
second
him.
level, us, has an average height of 5 to 7 feet. Third are about 10 to 16 feet, which we are about to translate to. Fourth is 30 to 35 feet, and the last is 50 to 60.
Why?
You may remember a being named Metatron, the Hebrew
She and his mommy.
Based Enoch moment.
archangel who is the perfection of what humanity is to become. He was 55 feet tall, that guy. The last 2 heights are far in the distant future for us, though. This is a place in Egypt.
Wait, was that a Hitler salute?
Simbel. The first thing you notice is that these statues are huge, but with
Oh,
information about the
Simbel.
DNA,
They made these statues to scale. We have proof the ancient peoples were huge. Look at the size of these statues.
That was a pretty funny take, but not like this.
No, Vaush, I don't see you debunking this. What proof do you have that the ancient people aren't that huge?
Yeah, I don't see you busting out any academic papers.
Well, actually, according to him, the Nephilim are something from Halo, so therefore that's probably why he doesn't have the evidence.
You know, I think Jordan's 100% correct. This is to scale, and until I see proof, fuck yourself.
I don't see any empirical evidence that...
Do you have any sources to back up your claim?
Have you seen the Statue of Liberty? Holy shit, dude. 18th century Frenchmen must have been on an entire other level. Holy fuck.
Sure, why not?
this paints a different picture. These
Well, we know they
beings
like
in a 60-foot
frogs.
range if they were to stand. They were at the 5th level of consciousness. These beings on a different wall are 35 feet tall, the 4th level of consciousness. Here are some 3rd levels as well. Archaeologists saw this and thought that it meant that the man was just much more important than the woman. when in actuality, the kings of Egypt had 5 different names, one for every level of consciousness.
What?
Some of the kings were even able to translate into different dimensions, and that's how they guided the population with the power of the gods. In Egypt, according to today's top...
We did it again. Another way that this bullshit spiritualism reinforces fascist authoritarian ideals by assuming
again with this
activist element to human genetic differentiation. Tall
Where
people
does it
aren't
connect?
just tall; they're ascended god beings.
Yes, and
you do know that this is in Egypt, right? Where like colored people would be present.
Yeah. Well, what's your problem with that? How is it?
So ever since the debunk has come out that Egyptians aren't actually black people, they've been treated as like Asians. So.
Oh well, of course, because it couldn't have been white people.
Power plus privilege.
Don't you just love the fucking double standard where it's either colored people or nothing?
It's nigger nothing.
Well, the last time I checked, white meant all the color of the rainbow.
Well, you need to have a canvas to paint on, and it has to be white.
Yeah.
200 years or so. Both of these civilizations...
That's a pretty bad take, not gonna lie, Sinaticus.
Okay. You know what? I don't know enough history to contest that. Maybe the Egyptian and Sumerian systems did just emerge out of nowhere with fully developed writing systems.
Yes,
they kind of did, actually.
They basically had to. The civilizations lived in environment that necessitated to create some kind of
this
writing
is what I
system.
used to support my sort of gap in history theory. Like, we get Göbekli Tepe approximately 11,000 years ago, and then nothing until the Sumerians in Egypt. And, spirit science is fucking wrong. Maybe I should do a video where I address this video, but, like, he's not wrong when he says that the Sumerians and the Egyptians pretty much popped out of nowhere.
Oh shit! Actually, this is what we're about to see is like the biggest stretch he ever makes.
I don't know.
Upon since. When they first emerged, they were extremely sophisticated and clear, and slowly degenerated over generations.
Pause it quick. Okay, so do you see what he's doing? It's not a completely accurate chart, but he's basically just describing the way that these like language systems devolved after they first emerged, right? Which is a real fact.
Right.
Okay, so continue and see how Vaush spins that.
No archaeologist can explain how this happened or explain how it could have happened. They placed Egypt and Sumer into a special classification called stair-step evolution.
Somehow I doubt this. One other quick point of contention. Remember how fascism is based on the idea of an imagined past of glory where a superhuman variant of your current racial archetype wandered the world, controlling and doing great things. And now your state lives in a degenerated state that needs to be reclaimed and brought back to its former glory.
Oh,
this is literally like what leads people to fascist beliefs.
No, this is what leads people to not believing your fucking bullshit when this is established history and you try and shut it down by claiming it's nothing but fascism. Fucking fuck yourself.
History is fascistic. Just deal with it.
Oh yeah, you need to revise history, obviously.
Total fascist.
Well, no, they're trying to revise history now, so I get why he's all like.
Yeah, I just really love nothing more than him. I just really love nothing more than him looking at a visual aid based on like some like kind of obscure, not really relevant thing where he's just like, hey, these languages slowly devolved after they first appeared. And he's like, this is just like the fascist hypermyth where the world is great and then it degenerates.
And it's all those filthy Hebrews' fault. Those superior Hebrews that came from the sky and helped us.
Is Catholicism fascistic by his standards?
Oh, of course. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, he's an atheist, so.
Oh, well, then without doubt.
Keep in mind, the Nazis believe that an ancient Nordic people who are all like 10 feet tall.
Yes, I believe in Hyperborea, probably.
Wandered the world and created all of the other races.
So the Nazis didn't actually create the belief of Hyperborea. That was around for much longer. It has its roots in I want to say Norse or Celtic mythology. One of the two.
Well, no, wasn't Hyperborea just what the Romans called Iceland?
Well, it was what Greeks called the land north of Thracia or whatever.
Yeah, it's.
Oh no, it was what they called Ireland, I think, right?
No, the Romans called Ireland Hibernia.
No, Hibernia, yeah, sorry.
And remember, nothing good comes from Hibernia.
Nazi racial theory sounds a lot like this.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, it's a different flavor of bullshit, but this is very similar to Nazi racial theory.
So it's been a very long time since I've decided to look into Nazi racial theory, but if I am not mistaken, the Nazi racial theory suggests that there are 7 races. The first race, second race, third race, so on and so forth. The first ones are lesser races, whereas the latter ones, the 7th race, is the best one. They are under the impression that the Aryan race was the 7th race, and that the Jewish race was the 2nd race. I don't remember who the other races were, just because it's not important. This just explains why they oddly fixated on Jews. And the Nazis believed that in order for each race to thrive, they had to wipe out the previous race. So in their minds, the Jews succeeded in wiping out the first race. But every race after that failed to wipe out the Jews. And so they took it upon themselves being the 7th race.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, man. I mean, makes sense, right? Numbered races.
It all adds up to 8.
That is such a German. That is such a German thing, though, right? To take all the races and just give them neat little number category.
Yeah, it's another example of German philosophy.
This is fucking autism.
Being autistic and stupid.
Just replace all the weird Atlantean bullshit mysticism with Aryans and Nordics. They wander the world in their higher state of consciousness, but then the Hebrews, with no emotional connection to the world, arrive in alien ships from a Hebrew star and begin polluting the world with their emotional, hive-minded, in-group bias.
So he's actually lying. Either he's lying or he's stupid, because in real time, spirit science made a distinctive difference between the Hebrews and the Martians. He's talking about the Martians. I don't want to. You're making me defend spirit science, you little shit. All right.
That's why I told you we had to watch this video. It's so fucking incredible how shitty he is that he makes spirit science.
He's straight up lying.
It's so great.
He's straight up lying about what spirit science said.
Originally, the kind Nords coexisted with them, but slowly, seditiously, they began to subvert racially the purity of the Aryan world, and now we live in a degenerated state where the Jews are trying to finish the job. This is literally...
Correction. We will finish the job.
Sorry, broken
because Nazis
people.
literally got their racial theory from Madame Blavatsky, who talked about this shit. Madame Blavatsky. A Russian occultist, philosopher, and author who co-founded the Theosophical Society.
Yeah, the Nazis were not theosophists, so I don't know why.
This looks about like the kind of bullshit.
Yeah. First off, the Nazis hated the Russians. So why would they incorporate Russian philosophy into their worldview?
Because Hyperborea was in Russia.
That's
okay, Putin.
That's like saying the Nazis used Jewish philosophy. Like, what are you talking about? No, they didn't. They hated Jews.
Well, they used Christianity, so
they're also not Theosophic. I can't pronounce that word in English. You know what I mean.
You'd expect to see here.
It's a symbol that literally has like a Buddhist swastika and a fucking Jewish star in like 1880, and he's like, "Yep, that looks like fasci to me."
Her theosophy has been described as representing a major factor in the modern revival of Western esotericism. Nice. All right.
Is there something wrong with Western esotericism? I'm not seeing anything. Literally, the word Nazi doesn't appear anywhere on this page. You'd think that if it were, like, attached to Nazism, that, like, there'd be, like, some, I don't know, information on it.
Well, this is just another reason why Twitch streaming is such a vastly superior medium to, like, well thought out and researched YouTube video. Because you can get this shit where some fucking retard in the chat will post some nonsense and he'll just be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All 200,000 people that view me, totally.
What's wrong with... it's unlikely that Vaush will ever see this, but, like... tell me what's wrong with Western esotericism, please. You're gonna say something, Wilson?
Vaush just turns to you and he goes, because it's kikery.
When you read through this fucking Wikipedia article, there's no mention of Nazis, just that it's
of course not, because he just made it up.
Of New Age.
He's either made it up, or someone told him this a while back, and because he's not a free thinker, he didn't bother to actually sit down and research it.
Someone posted it in his Twitch chat. That's what I was saying.
Oh, well... Alright, then.
Just point it out, guys. There's a reason why I hate mysticism.
What happened was, one day, Egypt got its language, full and complete.
Damn.
Then the knowledge leveled off. And then it got another massive leap a little while later. Then suddenly, they knew everything about water and moat systems just perfect. Then, a little time later, bam, they're masters of hydraulics.
What?
How did Egypt and Sumer do this? Well, this is what Thoth said. When we were evolving on our own for 6,500 years, Ra and the Ascended Masters were waiting in an underground city beneath the Great Pyramid. We'll come back to this in a bit. Thoth's son Tat formed a group called the Tat Brotherhood, which is a secret group.
Can anyone explain the lore to me as to why these people have bird beaks?
Still exists today.
Does he not know about...
Wait, what?
Does he not know about who Thoth is?
No, seems that Egyptian mythology just flies over his head.
Sorry, Rhoda. He doesn't believe in mysticism. He's a rational thinker.
How abysmal is his life that he doesn't know about like any kind of world religion?
It's not
or philosophy?
abysmal. He's a rational thinker. He's an empiricist, rationalist, skeptic.
Bosun, I'm going to slaughter you.
How long have you been watching this?
Yeah, Rhoda, keep trying to peddle your biologically
minutes.
prescriptivist conservative social ideology.
Grid temples. Today, they're still connected to the Ascended Masters. So about 6,000 years ago, some members of the Tat Brotherhood would wait until they found someone who could understand what they were going to teach them. When they found someone, they would just tune their frequencies to the third dimension and walk up and tell them information flat out. They said, hey, if you do this and this happens. The Egyptians would say, wow, look at that. Then they would go underground, wait another little while, and repeat the process.
Okay.
Over a short period of time, the Egyptian and Sumerian evolution shot up in stair steps. As for the Sumerians, they also received a more detailed story by those who were assisting them. They described to the Sumerians in all of the details they remembered. They said, this is the history of the planet, write it down. The Sumerians knew about the precession of the equinox because they were told it by the Nacals from Atlantis. After this stair-step period, we began to fall asleep further. Things got worse once more. It was our falling sleep stage of precession, and although the Nacals had given us a boost, we were consciously dozing off.
Do you think this guy has a video in 2012? Do you think this guy has a video like where he's predicting the end of the world? And then it didn't happen, and he made a video on why it didn't
happen in some reality.
There's no way this guy didn't buy into 2012, right?
You know, funny enough, watching all these spirit science videos, that doesn't sound like something he'd actually buy into.
The first video in his channel is Spirit Science.
Yeah, he probably makes a video where he's like, actually, people think it's the end of the world, but when you look into the Toronto documents, it actually Thoth tells us.
I mean,
that
2012...
the apocalypse described on the calendar is actually a metaphor for...
2012 was just the cycle into the 13th Baktun anyway. It wasn't that significant to anyone who knows anything about Mayan religion.
Wait, did he delete all of his videos before 2012? Guys, his videos...
Clearly not, because the Human History movie is dated as January of 2012.
And it's 7 years ago, back to 2012. Did he delete everything from before then?
So now we have confirmation that Vaush can't even look at simple dates on video uploads to determine.
Well, no, it's funny because in a little bit he'll literally look at the date and be like, "Did he? Yeah, so this is from January 2012. Did he?"
So then clearly he didn't delete everything from 2012. He didn't even delete them from the date of December 2012. Can't even get the fucking month right.
There were way more. Did he do it? Did this guy make a bunch of videos on how the world was going to end, and then he got embarrassed when it didn't, so he deleted all the videos on the subject and
Can we stop?
No. I'm asking
Vaush. He never talked about the subject.
Oh.
He had a different channel before? I don't know.
Dude!
Why is he so stuck up on it?
Well, yeah. He used to have a River Jordan channel, which was his Newgrounds animation channel, but that got taken down.
Male, hyper magic, biological differentiation shit. We have to finish this.
Yeah, I hate it when my fantasy worlds have hyper magic too. Ugh.
Don't you mean your fantasy mythos
with some caveats, okay?
Is that how you pronounce his mythos?
Yeah, earlier he was talking about Elder Scrolls. He's like, the entire Elder Scrolls mythos.
Now get this. In this brotherhood, there
Not
are
very
two people in
rational.
particular. A man and a woman. You might have heard of them. Mary and Joseph? See, it was part of the Ascended Master's plan that they would bring in a...
Oh yeah, he doesn't like Christianity, I forgot.
Consciousness. He would come to Earth as a second-level being, a regular Joe, and achieve Christ consciousness through the course of his life. Then, the ascension process, the transitional experience from the second to third level, would go into the consciousness grid that was still being formed. He was able to transition because he was originally from these higher levels. That man is known today as Jesus, although his name at that time was Yahshua ben-Hur. If Yahshua had not shown up, we would not have had that ascension experience available to us today. None of us would be...
Yep. Guys, no, I'm right. He re-uploaded all of the old Spirit Science videos.
Yes, his channel got taken down. What part are you...
1, 2, and 3 later
Why is he
on.
so
I think this
hung up on
motherfucker made predictions for 2012 and then deleted that
Oh my
shit after it
fucking
didn't pan
god.
out.
He literally
What's
didn't.
your
You're
lead?
fucking
I guarantee
retarded.
it. This dude's fucking insane. Look.
Why?
Again, I don't want to ever find myself in a situation where I defend spirit science, but you're making me do it. You'd think that if Vaush was so rational, so reasonable, this would be nothing more than a simple Google search on the Wayback Machine. But instead, he just flat out says it as if it's a fact. Like a filthy fucking liar.
Well,
Well, he doesn't believe in biologically prescriptivist conservative social rules, Sinaticus.
Again, he is a commie. You know what's
Shut
coming.
up, East Block. Shut up, East Block. You know nothing
Spirit
about
Science
real
2,
communism.
right up here. Spirit Science 1, 2019 Deluxe Remake. Published this year.
What's your
This
point?
motherfucker deleted his shit. He's covering his tracks.
When the channel's
Imagine
great.
thinking like this. Imagine being such a fucking brainwave that you think this way.
He's grasping for straws, because throughout the entirety of this, he hasn't been able to address... And again, this is all, like, basic level shit. Like, again, if you can't address spirit science, don't even talk to me about any of this shit, because you just don't know what you're talking about. Right? Like, he's grasping straws because he has nothing. And so now he's got to make up some sort of conspiracy theory about how Spirit Science made a bunch of 2012 videos, deleted them all, and then remade them to remove the 2012 references.
Sinaticus, your point is invalid because conspiracy theory was invented by the CIA.
Yeah, well, I'm from space, so fuck yourself.
You're so rude.
Nearly 8 years ago, Spirit Science 1
And
first
it
debuted
doesn't
on the internet,
make
sparked the
sense
beginning of
since
a
the
massive
first
journey for
video
so
on
many
this
of us,
channel
exploring
right
the
now
nature of
is from
consciousness, spirituality, and the
2011.
mysteries of life. Today in 2019, we take that convo to the next level.
What is he
This
trying
brand
to
new
prove?
deluxe edition of Spirit
I mean, again, even... Like, I know for a fact that Spirit Science got a new team, which is probably why he decided to remake his old videos. So that way they could be, I don't know, better?
Yeah, spirit science actually is moving up in the world, unlike you, Vaush.
all that you loved about the
You
original.
know, maybe that's it. Maybe he has, like, a co-terminal jealousy like I do, because, like, Spirit Science has, like, all these subscribers that I have none.
Spirit Science 1 and transformed it with updated information, a number of scientific experiments, and brand new drawings, many of which are recreations of the original art. I wonder what information you updated it on the videos that you published before 2012.
Can we please go back, because he literally looks at the first video and it's from 2011, if I'm not mistaken. He's arguing about nothing.
Well, no, we don't have to go back, because in a little bit he's going to look at the actual human history movie that he's been watching. He's going to look at that upload date and see that it's January of 2012.
Oh, okay.
All of the insane faux hippie spiritual mysticism that you see here is the mind of a grifter who...
Faux hippie and fascist at the same time. Which one is it? Either this guy loves everyone, or he's a fascist. Either he's not a racist, or he's a fucking like, what is it?
He's a hippie fascist.
He's a the thing is, hey man, just chill out and kill the Jews.
Hey, Sinaticus, fascists do love everyone. You're falling for the propaganda.
Didn't the Nazis kill hippies?
Yes.
What?
Knows that his credibility would be damaged if he was shown to still be peddling the 2012 Mayan end of the world myth after it was proven to have not taken place.
Why are you stuck up on this
that
bullshit?
can actually be scrutinized and means tested, he deletes any evidence of it not coming true.
He's just as bad as some of the people that he tries to fight against. It's ridiculous.
According to what Tho said, Mary and Joseph mated interdimensionally.
Oh.
Mary could have been a virgin, physically, but she mated with Joseph in a way that would allow a soul from a higher reality to come down to Earth and have a human experience. Usually, this is impossible to do otherwise. Through Yahshua's work, he came here just like us, a total human being,
that's how it works,
I'd like to point out that in the actual narrative, Joseph is confused as to where Jesus came from. So if that were true, he's got no reason to be confused.
Oh no.
So you see, he hasn't actually read any holy books, Sinaticus, so you can't actually talk about that either.
I'm just saying.
Well, that's my favorite difference, right, between us talking shit and Vaush. I remember when we watched that. And whenever Spirit Science would bring up people like Graham Hancock or Zachariah Sitchin or anything, Sinaticus would be like, "Oh yeah, I've looked at these guys all the time. These guys, I hear all these specific points about these people and the things that they say." Vaush just never comments on it because he doesn't know who any of these fucking people are. He doesn't know shit.
Hey man, knowledge is power.
Final death, resurrection, and ascension, and gave us these experiences so that we could access them down the road. Now, as we all know, the story
like what
of Jesus
Wilson Wilson
According
said.
to Vaush, it's the only power we have.
disappeared for some time, and then showed up again when he was 30. In a book called The 18 Absent Years of Jesus Christ, the leading theories about where he went was actually out east to either the Himalayan or Tibetan mountains, where he
I
became
love
an
this
enlightened
theory.
guru. He brought his teachings back to the world after that. If you remember from part 1, the Kundalini of the planet was residing in Tibet at that time. There were very spiritually adept people living there, and remain so today. Now, on the topic of Christ, there's something else I'd like to bring up. The Lord's Prayer.
Jesus went to Tibet?
Yeah, again, you're following the video, Wash. Congratulations.
Geometric prayer meditation.
Oh my fucking god.
McCoy spent over 20 years
If you want to have a retort to this stuff, you might as well prepare and watch it beforehand and research.
In his book,
Yeah, or just shut up and...
Well, again, that's what I say. That's why Twitch streams are so much better than YouTube videos, because you don't even have to do all that shitty research stuff. You can just say anything that doesn't matter.
Original branches of yoga. Bodhi teaches how to
Spug.
do prayer meditation, as well as meditation.
No fun, Bosun, no fun.
Based on the Lord's Prayer, called heart dances. It's really quite incredible to see how it all works with the pure geometries of the universe. If you wish to learn more, check out livethepromise.net. If you study Christian religion and Egyptian religion, you'll actually find that they parallel in almost every way except for the Egyptians' understanding of God. Most evidence shows that Christian religion came out of Egyptian religion, and then later they went back and discredited the Egyptians.
This is epic.
Why is
so fucking...
We're not responding to Spirit Science. I'll respond to Spirit Science in another video.
Which was the syndication of the Roman political and religious authorities. Basically,
Must resist
the
my
religious leaders
urge.
And political leaders realized that they could unite and impose more influence on the people and control society through their unity. It's right around this time that we begin to see the manifestation of the New Testament, which was put together from scriptures and stories, some newer and some much older.
It's ironic seeing as Christianity and Roman Empire actually diverted power from being
The term Christ
centralized.
actually stems back from much before the Bible. It comes from the word Christala. which is a word that derives from the original 7 core audible sounds of creation. When the creation of the universe occurred, the original tones were ka, ra,
Sinaticus is resisting.
actually was broken down on Earth into 2 words, Christ, which soon became Christ.
I just had a thought.
Debunk it. Debunk
Guys,
it right now. This is easy.
What if we could apply this... What if we could apply the numerology of the universe, the sacred geometry of the universe, to more?
He isn't even debunking it. He's just making some random pointless point.
What are you doing? Just debunk it.
What if there's more out there?
This is...
It's a fucking copy bust.
This is like the easiest thing to debunk. All right, anybody with like 2nd grade knowledge on basic linguistical history of the Bible knows that the word Christ comes from Mashiach. You can debunk this with a simple Google search, and you're doing this instead. You useless shit.
Yeah, but he makes like 5 times his salary. What do you mean?
And yet he still lives in a pigsty with some really fat woman in the background.
That bug creature.
That's just a goblin.
Rota, there's no need to be so rude, Rota.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry for fat shaming.
Rota, you're being biologically prescriptive as conservative.
But like, I'm actually upset because
miracle individual.
Like it. Look, this stuff isn't hard. Okay. Like, I might be a little more educated than the average person on this, but debunking this is not hard. Okay? And the very idea that he was not only incapable of doing this, but then actively dropped the ball in one of the easiest sections, how low does your IQ have to be in order for you to fail this hard?
No, just... Sinaticus, just wait. No, listen. No. Sinaticus, just wait until you see the depth of comedy of this joke that he's about to tell. It's actually incredible.
All right.
What the fuck?
Comedy genius.
How does this connect to anything?
And with that, comedy will never peak again. Friends, this is it. Step aside.
Hold on, Sinaticus. I'm actually looking at this again. Is that image?
Oh my god!
Is that depicting male genitalia? I'm just noticing.
Wait a minute. No, it's clearly a T-bone. You're looking at it in the wrong direction.
This reminds me of the phallic symbols that are ever present in our society.
Oh my god! If that is supposed to be a male genital organ, that's so much funnier now. Oh my god!
Don't you see? It's a picture of thought.
It's so deep. I think he's making commentary about the male condition.
It's a satirical comedy about the biological prescriptivist nature of the male genital.
Don't you see? It's the picture of thought. You have the beak and you have the 2 large eyes.
This is an interpretation of Kundalini energy. You're all wrong.
Fucking gorilla. Wipe you fuck. Secret. Miserable. Wipe.
Shut up, Rhoda.
Shut up, Bath.
The kid.
You're not even watching the video.
Yes, I am. I've been watching it.
Are you home?
Fucking gorilla. Wipe you the fuck. Secret, miserable, wipe kiddo the maggot.
And what people in his audience actually think that this is funny.
How?
This isn't funny. This is just sad.
It's comedy genius. What do you mean? This is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Well, this is the funniest thing.
Fucking gorilla.
Look,
I will wipe you, fuck.
I will wipe you,
maggot, wipe, miserable, the kiddo.
Look, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen, that's for sure. Because I'm a soulless Jew, but I don't know. I'm from space. What do I know?
Oh, is he like trying to mock this comment? That's a copy pasta?
No, so he's mocking the interpretation of where the word Christ comes from in the video. Now, instead of actually showing where the word Christ comes from, which again is like a 10-second Google search, he just does this instead.
Words. Fuck maggot kiddo, the white miserable ass, fucking gorilla, I will wipe you the fuck out, secret arsenal. Arsenal!
King of comedy right here.
Of over 69 different religious texts.
You said the number. You said the number.
Shut up. Is this basically the meta of leftist memes?
Someone write this down. Write this down.
Just wall of text.
It's funny. I was just thinking about that. It's a well-known fact that the left can't meme, but like, it's painful to watch in real time.
Yeah, it is.
Is Vaush an SCP admin?
Well, I wonder if he's done a video on SCP.
He probably did. He could probably become an SCP admin. They'd let some useless shit like this in.
Well, he's already got the PETA requirement for full.
Yeah, he's already got that one checked off.
Well, welcome to the club, buddy.
The universe. We're in, boys. I'll be arising to my I'll be arising to my enlightened fucking 18th state of reality any day now, okay? Any day now.
He's making fun of you, Sinaticus.
Well, joke's on him. I've already reached the 18th state of reality. There's nothing there, sorry.
Oh, God.
Imagine if this guy went to GLP's show. It would be the best thing ever.
Goodbye, friends. It's been real.
Jesus Christ.
Easy. I don't speak Spanish. Couldn't talk to anyone. Sucks. Getting back to streaming.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. After this, I'm gonna make a video commenting on the Spirit Science video, just so that way I can show how significantly easier it is to deal with this.
And Hua, which...
And then I'm gonna make a video about that anti-Semite I already told you I was gonna make.
Became Allah.
The anti-Semite! Shut up, God fucking...
Oh, yeah? You know what? That's it. Third video is gonna be on Blair and why I just don't like him.
Yeah, boo-hoo! 6 million! Crime out of you, boy!
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sinaticus, but if you make a video against anti-Semites, I'm gonna have to dislike.
In the outer ring were the Atlanteans. The Maya's job was communicating the messages from the inner circle out to the regular people of Atlantis.
Okay.
When Atlantis sank, the Maya took their knowledge, a crystal skull with memories of Atlantis,
Crystal
and their
skull.
calendar, and went out to what today is called the Yucatan Peninsula, birthplace of the Mayan civilization. Their calendar is the most advanced, detailed calendar on the planet.
The Mayan calendar, huh? Is it? Did it make any predictions?
Why is he so hinged on the 2012
Wait,
thing?
here comes this video from February 1st, 2012.
Wow.
Interesting, isn't it? That video was from 2012.
But I thought he deleted all of his stuff from 2012. What gives?
Seems that the
it's like he has the fucking memory of a goldfish.
It's also a well-known fact that streamers are retarded.
Also, this Pepe is positioned just right so that it looks like it's patches.
Yeah, it looks like mouth.
He's got nothing to say!
When was the actual end of the world supposed to be?
Wasn't it December?
Well, it's
December 21st, 2012. Yes, I have it memorized. Fuck you. The event...
It's not exactly a hard date to memorize. It's 1221212.
The event itself, again, had literally nothing to do with the end of the world. It just meant that the Mayan calendar turned over from the last moment of the 12th Baktun to the 13th. That's it. That's all. That's the only thing that happened on December 12th, 2012.
December 21st, 2012 was when it was supposed to happen.
Well, it did happen. We entered the 13th Baktun on December 21st, 2012.
Yeah, and how funny isn't it that everything's been going to shit since then? How interesting.
And it has
Hey, actually, but 2 years later, your favorite game came out, so I don't know what you
Hey,
mean.
you didn't say it here, did you?
over the last few hundred years, a group of
They
Didn't
screwed.
specify.
Yep, FNAF is a fucking...
There are 13 families.
FNAF is a harbinger of the apocalypse.
I could live with that.
Scott Cawthon is a Nephilim. Sorry, he's trying to turn back the clock.
No.
Nephilim? You mean like from Diablo?
You said everything post fucking 2012 was bad.
Nephilim, you mean those creatures from the Diablo mythos?
I'm gonna choke you out.
Hey, well, here we go.
They have their hands in next to every organization.
One sec.
Okay, these are the Martians, not the Hebrews, right?
Buddy, in your video, you've made no distinction and have actively connected them, so it doesn't matter.
It's also controlling Republican Party.
They control our modern world from the
Democrats are missing.
Today, we like to call them the Illuminati, except that's not really who they are. The word Illuminati means enlightened ones, which was established long ago as a secret society that was focused around expanding knowledge through scientific...
Wait, no, we still got the Hebrew star.
Oh my, he's literally saying that they're good guys. What is wrong with you? Can this guy not listen for 5 seconds? They're doing fucking little happy faces.
After talking to many people at my college, I kind of came to the realization, or I started developing a hypothesis that people who are far left lack cognitive reasoning. And you want to know what? I feel as though Vaush in this waste of 54 minutes has confirmed that. People this far on the political scale have no cognitive reasoning.
Listen, I don't think it was a waste. It gave us the biologically prescriptivist, socially conservative roles.
Information that the average person at that time
Oh, undoubtedly. He can certainly be thanked for that. My bad.
would not accept and demonize. These societies had to be kept a secret because of the control that the church had and refuted against what they wanted to explore.
Oh wait, hold on. 1 second. My girlfriend just pointed out to me that I didn't benefit enough from my spiritual enlightenment. Okay?
You mean your house elf? Oh, sorry, goblin.
Okay, yeah, don't say house elf. She's more like an orc.
Wow. Do it twice.
Oh no, the
That will
filter
make it
doesn't
more
work.
funny.
God damn it. Alright, well, you know, it was worth a try.
Organizations to make sure that they were not creating plans to expose information and destroy the world order that they had created. This led to the church exposing some of the societies as devil worship and blasphemous, and fear of these groups rose. Over time, many secret societies branched off by those who were corrupt or previously infiltrated by the church, and gained more control through the church and large organizations that were being established. Today, there exist 13 families around the world who pretty much own the world, with over 95% of the money and a lust for greed, power, and control. More and more information has become present lately that many of these families may have DNA that is different than the rest of the human population. It is speculated that they share DNA that was passed down from the Martian race or other species races. They contain no love or emotion and are completely power-driven. This brings us to the end of the human history story for spirit science, but of course, it's not really the end.
We did it.
We've only really scratched the surface of discussing many of these topics.
And we did it. We reached the end of Vaush's stupidity.
This was torturous. Jesus Christ. Fuck you.
I love it though. It's so funny.
Nephilim? You mean like the ones from Diablo?
This would be like if the entire Elder Scrolls mythos were written to promote monogamy.
Well, I mean, think about it, right?
Hey, if we're doing the Elder Scrolls mythos, I get to voice the Morrowind part.
I mean, you think about it, right? Like, what if he said dragons, and then he unironically replied with, dragons? You mean the ones from Skyrim? Like...
I still can get over the fact he was creating this conspiracy theory that Jordan hit all his
this really shows the creativity thing, because we know that gender isn't real. That's a fact. But these people who are quote-unquote enlightened are still chained to the conservative idea of gender role.
Gone are my blues and gone are my tears. I've got good news to shout in your ear.